Hi, my name is Vera.
And I'm Liv.
And we are going to talk to you about what we do as an external relations team for WAGGGS. Yeah. In this team, I work on the European Youth Forum. And the European Youth Forum, as the name suggests, is a platform for more than 100 youth organizations in Europe. And the abbreviation for the youth forum that is used is the YFJ, which doesn't correspond with the English name, but it stems from the French title, as it is a bilingual organization. So the membership of the YFJ exists of mainly two groups. It's national youth councils and international non-governmental youth organizations. And WAGGGS is one of those latter organizations. And within the YFJ, there are 4 bodies that facilitate this platform for the membership. So there's the board, firstly, which is chosen every 2 years. The consultative body on membership applications, who review the membership application. The Financial Control Commission, checking the balances of the board. And lastly, there's the Secretariat, who support the board in Brussels. So as WAGGGS, we can nominate our volunteers for a position in one of these bodies. And this way, one of our volunteers, Rosalind Old, was in the board for the past 2 years, which is really cool. Besides such nominations, there's more that we can do as WAGGGS. Because the YFJ creates an opportunity for WAGGGS to connect with other youth organizations and work on specific topics together. So the main topics that we as WAGGGS advocate for within the platform are girls and women's rights and diversity and inclusion, climate and sustainable development, and non-formal education. And secondly, every once in a half year, a few people from our team represent WAGGGS at the Council of Members or the General Assemblies of the YFJ. And these are meetings with the full membership of the YFJ, either in Brussels or the youth capital of the year. And during this pandemic, it has been online, of course. And in these meetings, we can really voice our opinion as WAGGGS and contribute to the YFJ's work. My 2 favorite things about this work we do within the YFJ are, firstly, that via the YFJ, WAGGGS really has the power to make an impact on a political level, as it gives you more easily access to organizations such as the UN, the EU, the Council of Europe. And secondly, what I like is that you get to see and get to know what the things are for other young people in Europe that are top of mind, and what they are working on outside of your national bubble. And you really get to create a huge network of youth activists and get to understand their lives a little bit better.
My name is Liv, and I'm part of the Europe Region External Relations team, and I primarily work with the European Youth Dialogue. Youth Dialogue is a structured dialogue between European legislators, both on a European level and on a national level, youth and YNGYOs, so international non-government youth organizations. Youth Dialogue works in a cycle of 18 months with 3 countries sharing the presidency. During the cycle, 3 conferences are held to work on the theme of the cycle. In between the conferences, certain activities are held or information is gathered according to what was decided at the previous conference. So the current cycle of the European Youth Dialogue is based on the EU Youth Goal number 9, which is space and participation for all, which is, as you can imagine, very relevant for WAGGGS. Scouting and guiding in national settings, create both digital spaces, physical spaces for youth, and we're generally all about the participation for all. I was at the last conference in Portugal, which was all about the beginning of the implementation phase. So we were creating action plans based on the identified main issues for the different targets of the Space and Participation for All goal. WAGGGS is not a party political organization, but we are a political organization in the sense of campaigning and like advocating for women's rights, girls' rights, non-formal education, inclusivity, and all these things, which are very relevant in the Youth Dialogue program. So one of my favorite moments with Youth Dialogue was during the online conference in Portugal. We had a limited amount of social events, but we had a few in the evening. And one of the evenings, we managed to completely unintentionally have one of the Zoom rooms with only scouts and guides. No planning, we were all scouts and or guides. And we ended up talking for a few hours in the evening, even though we all was like, oh no, we're tired and we had to go to bed. Of course, this year has been challenging being a WAGGGS regional volunteer because we can't go anywhere. It's been locked down ever since we got our volunteer job nearly. So the favorite things are a little bit different than what you might be used to. But I think my favorite thing about being a volunteer has probably been participating as a facilitator at the Academy 2020 and doing an online workshop on the advocacy toolkit from WAGGGS with a surprising amount of participants who were all being very active in the workshop. The events that we would normally have only a few spots in, but now have opened to the entirety of our organization. An important thing if you want to be an external relations volunteer is that you have to find working with politics interesting. And I don't mean party politics or anything, but advocacy, discussions, and presentations and participation in conferences, because that is the main work we do, and it's really interesting.
So if you are interested in international collaboration and advocacy too, then I would really recommend to apply for the External Relations Working Group of WAGGGS. And the position opens each triennium, so keep an eye on our socials to see when the applications open. And in case you're interested, feel free to send us a message to have a chat about it. Hope to see you.